Russia, China, the United States, the three most powerful countries on Earth. All of them are controlled by illiberal forces. All of them are controlled by people who hate liberalism. They hate freedom, they hate democracy. China and Russia have been illiberal for a long time. With the election of Trump, the United States has joined them. It is a very disturbing development. There is only one power that can rival any of these states: a united Europe. Only Europe has the economic and military power to seriously challenge these states. It is an imperative that Europe does not fall to illiberal forces. And yet there is a very real danger that it will. In many European states, illiberal forces are gaining ground. In some European states, they have already triumphed. In Hungary, Orban governs. In Belarus, Lukashenko governs. The threat of illiberal forces is very clear in Europe. Russia is aggressively trying to advance through Ukraine. If it succeeds, it will destroy another democracy and be in position to strike others. And Russian misinformation contributes to the destabilization of every democracy, even those beyond Russian military grasp. We live in a dangerous world. Values that were taken for granted in previous decades are now fighting for survival. Freedom, democracy. These values are increasingly being trampled, even in the country that once held them most dear. It is a tragedy, but it is not a hopeless tragedy. It is a tragedy that demands political action. Europe needs to pick up the baton. They need to embrace Enlightenment values with new vigour. Europe cannot fall. Internally and externally, illiberal forces threaten Europe. If illiberal forces consume Europe, liberalism will be in a truly dire position. Europe must stand strong and embrace a revitalized liberalism. They must be aided by Australasia, Canada, South America, Central America, and parts of Asia. Europe is the most important power, but they do not stand alone. After the Cold War, liberalism declared itself victorious. In doing so, it weakened itself. It deprived itself of the struggle that had made it so strong. An ideology needs to provoke a strong sense of struggle and purpose. In declaring victory, liberalism robbed itself of these things. But now liberalism faces greater threats than it has for a long time. The stage is set for a massive revitalization of liberalism. A revitalization so intense that it may bring liberalism beyond some of its worst features. A revitalization so intense that it may reconcile the contradictions of liberalism, drag us beyond liberalism and into socialism. Perhaps that is the only answer to the illiberal oligarchs of the right. Perhaps that is the only way for freedom and democracy to be victorious. Europe must take these issues very seriously, because Europe stands as the last major haven of liberal values. Liberal forces in illiberal countries must continue their own struggles, but maintaining control of some countries is utterly crucial, and that is why Europe must not fall. It is time to defend the Enlightenment values that made the West great.